It was one of those mornings that start wrong and keep getting worse. The sky was gray, the air heavy with drizzle, and my mood darker than the clouds. I was standing at the bus stop, holding my briefcase in one hand and my phone in the other, watching the battery drop from 3% to 2. The bus was supposed to arrive at 8:10. It was already 8:35. Every passing minute made me more restless. My heart was pounding because I had an important meeting, the kind that could decide whether I got promoted or forgotten. I looked around at the few people waiting. Everyone seemed just as frustrated. A young woman tapping her foot, an old man quietly leaning on his cane, and a college student with his earphones in. The world felt noisy even in silence. The old man caught my attention for some reason. He looked calm, too calm for a morning like this. His clothes were simple, his hands trembling slightly, but his face, peaceful. He was holding a small paper bag carefully, like it carried something precious. When our eyes met, he gave me a small nod and a smile. I looked away quickly. I wasn't in the mood for small talk. I wanted the bus, not a conversation. Another 5 minutes passed. I muttered to myself, great. Another day ruined. That's when the old man spoke softly. You look worried, son. I sighed. Yeah, late bus. Big day. You know how it is. He chuckled quietly. The bus. It teaches patience better than school ever could. I forced a polite smile, pretending to agree, but deep down I was annoyed. How could he be so calm when everything was falling apart around me? The drizzle turned into proper rain. I opened my umbrella, then noticed the old man had none. His jacket was getting soaked, and the paper bag looked ready to fall apart. Sir, you can stand under my umbrella if you'd like, I said, half out of guilt. He smiled. That's kind of you, but don't worry. I've stood through worse storms than this. There was something about his voice, gentle, steady, almost comforting. After a pause, I asked, do you wait for this bus every day? He nodded. Every Thursday. Work? I asked. He shook his head, eyes still on the road. No, I go to visit my wife. Oh, I said softly, that's sweet. He smiled again, but this time there was sadness behind it. She's been gone 10 years now. I blinked. Gone? You mean? Yes, he interrupted gently. She rests at the cemetery 2 stops from here. I take her flowers every Thursday. Rain or shine. I looked down at the paper bag he was holding. Not groceries, not bread. White lilies. The rain made it hard to see, but I swear my eyes burned a little. I didn't know what to say. He continued, we were married 45 years. She loved lilies. Said they were simple but full of grace. After she passed, I promised her I'd never miss a Thursday. You know, promises are like threads. They tie hearts together, even across time. I was quiet. The sound of the rain filled the space between us. He turned to me and said, you seem like someone chasing time, son. Always running after the next thing. But remember, time doesn't chase anyone. It just moves. What matters is what we do while it moves. His words hit me harder than I expected. I didn't even know this man, yet it felt like he could see straight through me. The bus finally came 45 minutes late. People rushed to get in. I helped him climb aboard and we sat together. He smiled again and said, see? The bus came right when it was meant to. We both laughed quietly. As the bus moved, he told me stories about his wife. How they met at a library. How she hated the sound of thunder. How every Sunday she made pancakes shaped like hearts, even when the kids were grown. He showed me a worn-out photo from his wallet, a young woman with bright eyes and a shy smile. She never liked taking pictures, he said. But this one, she said I could keep. For the rest of the ride, I forgot about my meeting, my phone, my frustration. I just listened. There was something sacred about the way he spoke, not sad, just grateful. When the bus stopped near the cemetery, he stood up slowly. Before stepping down, he turned to me and said, don't curse the delays in your day, son. Sometimes, they're the only reason you meet the right people. Then he smiled one last time, stepped into the rain, and walked away with his paper bag of lilies. I watched him until he disappeared behind the fog. I don't know why, but something in me shifted that day. That evening, I reached home late. The meeting had been rescheduled. The delay didn't ruin my day after all. But what I couldn't stop thinking about was that old man. I kept seeing his wrinkled hands holding those flowers. I kept hearing his voice, calm, forgiving, wise. For the next few weeks, every time I got frustrated at traffic or slow internet or missed calls, I remembered his words. Sometimes, the bus is late because life wants you to wait for something better. A few months later, I passed by the same bus stop again. It was a Thursday. I looked around, half expecting to see him. But he wasn't there. Only the rain was falling quietly, just like that day. Out of curiosity, I took the bus to the same stop where he used to get off. I walked into the small cemetery nearby. Rows of flowers, names, memories carved in stone. Then I saw it, a small gravestone with white lilies placed neatly at the base. The name read Margaret Hill, beloved wife and best friend. Next to it, a small card was tucked under the flowers. It said, "Until we meet again, your George." I smiled, standing there in silence. The lilies were fresh, someone had been here just that morning. Maybe he had come earlier and left before I arrived. Or maybe, I thought, he'd already joined her, keeping his Thursday promise in another world.